everyone, welcome to How Ines Rolls. As you can see, we're in cleaning mode, but I have other things to show you today, like a super yummy granola bar that you can make from everything in your pantry. So I'm gonna show you that, but let's get started with the cleaning. You need some cleaning motivation? I do on the daily because, I mean, let's face it, I don't want to clean. It's like tedious and boring, but things need to be straightened up and cleaned. And so I've already bleached the bathrooms or cleaned the bathrooms downstairs. I have laundry going. Boys have to do the drawers with the dishes. And so then I'm going to reload and then I'm going to show you what I'm doing. Let's do this. We need to clean out that drawer behind you, huh? Yeah, it's all got a bunch of stuff all over the place. Wow.
And this one.
Yep. So I have on my wish list on Amazon some special dividers that would take the whole drawer and divide it up. Wouldn't that be better?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Ezra puts away the forks and knives and stuff every time the dishwasher's all done cleaning them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Things for lunch. So I'm going to make some baked potatoes and I'm going to show you what I'm going to be making very soon. Okay, so I have potatoes. I'll show you what I'm going to do with those in a little bit, but I'm going to make some granola bars. Now this recipe is so good. So I make them a lot like at the beginning of the school year. So I put a lot, like 100 of them, maybe more, into the back freezer and then I just let the kids grab them for their lunches. They're like little cookies, really. So I'm gonna show you that recipe today, and I'm gonna put that recipe below in the description box. So that way you can just get right to that recipe. So you'll need some oats and some chocolate chips and honey, vanilla, some sugar, and I'll show you. So along with the brown sugar, the honey, the oats, the chocolate chips, you're just gonna need some vanilla and baking soda. I'm going to bring you closer so you can see step by step. Okay, I have 4.5 cups of regular oats, and then I'm going to put 2 cups of milk chocolate chips. So I've done it with semi-sweet, it's fine, but I think it tastes better with the milk. So I have 2, which is about a whole bag. So 2 cups of chocolate chips. And then we're going to get into the honey. So I am going to spray my 1/2 cup with a little bit of cooking spray so that honey can hopefully slide right out. So here goes the honey. See, it comes out a whole lot easier if you keep that sprayed in. And then we're going to do some brown sugar. Not a lot because this honey makes it really sweet. So the recipe calls for 1/3 cup, but I always put a 1/4 cup. I kind of go down a little bit because it's already so sweet with the other stuff. So I'm just kind of packing in a 1/4 cup. And then we're going to do a teaspoon of the baking soda. Just kind of evenly disperse that. It'll make it easier when you're mixing. And then we're going to do a teaspoon of vanilla. So I need to get some oil in here. Now the oil that I have, this recipe calls for, oops, be like a tiny bit more splash. It calls for olive oil. So if I've had like leftover olive oil, and that how I actually got this recipe is that I had so much olive oil from Costco. But I have coconut oil, so that sounds really good to be in this one. So let me get the oil ready. Okay, so I've melted down the coconut oil. Depending on the certain time of year, it might be already melted. Wow, that was exactly 1/2 cup. Wow, I'm so proud of myself. So we're just pouring that on, and now we're going to mix it. thoroughly. So this may take a minute because you want to make sure all of those oats have all of the ingredients on them. So getting all that, all of the honey dispersed through, all of the brown sugar, just kind of breaking it all up into little more granules, and get that mixed through very, very well. And then get that 9x13 pan nicely greased. Also, another part of this recipe that you can put in is just a splash of flour. I've kind of taken that as maybe about a teaspoon, but honestly, I don't put it in because I don't want to make this non-gluten-free, because I know Paul really likes these as well. And oats are technically gluten-free. It's just the cross-contamination. So his allergy or sensitivity doesn't go that far. So he can have like a bite of these or have a bar. I don't mind at all. And he actually really, really likes these. So I am gonna now put this in the 9x13 and get it into the oven. You definitely wanna give this a good spray because I'm gonna be showing you one of my ways to make them into a really good granola bar. And you just need it well coated. So we're just gonna get this all in here. And then we're just gonna press it down. You can use the back of your spoon, that's fine. You just do your best to kind of press it into there because we're actually going to be flipping it out while it's warm, extra warm, even hot. So I just try to get that as binded as possible. It kind of starts to bubble a little bit in the oven, and we're not trying to burn it. So we're only at 325 degrees, like 20 to 25 minutes. You may want to check it at 20 because you don't want it to be like burnt on the top because, yeah, I've been there. So we're gonna get this in the oven, and then I'm just going to start cleaning up after myself. So after I do clean this up, I'm gonna show you what we're doing for lunch. It's so easy, and it's one of my favorites. Actually, it's one of my favorite dinners. So right now I have the potatoes in the oven baking away, and we're gonna be making some broccoli soup. So I've just washed a crown of broccoli heads, or just one. And so I just cut them into little florets. And so I'm getting that into a medium-sized stock pot. And I'm going to add to that, I make gluten-free cream of chicken soup. But you can just use maybe 1 can or maybe even 2 cans, up to you. And then I'm just gonna add a little bit of, probably 1 jar of milk, and start cooking away. I'll bring you closer. So you could see I already have the milk in there, and this one's a little bit frozen, but that's okay. It will thaw out just nicely and make a nice creamy soup. And then to that, we're just gonna add some medium cheddar, which you can use any cheese you have. And then I had some leftover crock pot cooked chicken. That's it, you guys. That's all I'm gonna do and get that nice and creamy, and it's gonna be so good over potatoes. So let me know if you cook a lot of chicken ahead of time and then kind of section them off into meals, because I feel like that is a definite way to go. Ooh, yes, so I just added that chicken and cheese, and I didn't even use all of the chicken that I had. So it's really up to you how you want to cook this through. Now, if this is a little too thick, now I'm just going to add a little bit of water to thin it out a little bit. And because I just don't want so much dairy, but you could just do cups of water or broth, however you'd like to do it. I don't have to usually add too much salt and pepper because it's already in the stock or in the soup. So I might just try it at the end and then determine if I need to add more salt and pepper. Okay, soup's done, and I still have like 3 minutes left to even wait for the granola bars. So this cooks up so fast. So I'm just gonna put a lid on it, and we're gonna wait for the potatoes to be done. Can't wait for lunch. So this just came out at like 22 minutes. It's kind of toasty on top. It's hot. We're gonna work fast here. So what I like to do is get my handy dandy cutting board, and we're going to put it on top. So if you just want to have it more like a granola, If you leave it in the pot or the dish, it's going to cool and you'll be able to get it out as in chunks. It'll crumble a lot more. Been there, done that. I prefer to do it as a bar. So you're gonna do a very slow flip, and it's okay if it moves. But you see that extra grease helps for all of it to come out. So I'm just gonna use a spoon, get the rest of it out because I don't wanna leave anything behind. And you can see it's just kind of a hot mess, really, on your cutting board. But don't worry, we're going to shape it. And I know it's hot, so be super careful. But I like to use like parchment paper. You could use wet hands and work fast. I've done that too, just be really careful. And then you're just going to shape it out and press it down. And you're trying to get a huge rectangle. That's it, you guys. And you just have to work fast so your hands don't get burnt. I've done this like, I want to say 100 times. And that's not what burns me, is this part. It's like usually the accidents of me bumping into the pan. Okay, I'm gonna bring you closer. As you can see, it's already starting to form. We're just gonna try to get these little end pieces in. I may need to get my hands in there to shape it more, but I'm trying to really press it in, press it down. So all I did was wet my hands with cold water, trying to even up the sides. So you could see where we would cut into this, and now we'll start getting really good bars. Let me get a little bit more into the press. Ooh, I think I can smell the coconut oil in it. Yum. Like I said, I've used olive oil. Mostly I use olive oil when I'm doing this recipe. But I had coconut. Okay, you guys. So you could leave it like this until it's at room temperature, leaving it on the counter, whatever. I like to put mine in the refrigerator. That way we don't have to wait so long to have a taste. I'd say about an hour or two, and then we can start cutting. Let's go check on the boys outside.
Look at them all playing, all 6 feet apart.
Mostly by playing, I just mean they're riding their bikes. It's good, riding their bikes. Going in for lunch in like 10 minutes. So now it's time to have yummy lunch. So as you can see, I've just kind of put it in a bowl with just potatoes, and I've, buttered and salt and peppered the potato a little bit. And now it's gonna be so yummy. But the reason I made this, normally I make this for dinner, is I made some for Paul's lunch for tomorrow, because I promised the boys tonight that we could get some pizza, some Blaze pizza. So we're gonna do that later and just go pick it up. But have you guys made takeout orders? Have you done any of that? So far since we've been on quarantine, we've done it twice. So, this will be our second time doing it tonight. But it makes me a little bit nervous. So, yeah. But the boys, we've just been missing Blaze. So we're gonna do that tonight for sure. And now it's time to eat yummy lunch. Okay, these came out of the refrigerator. They feel nice and cool. So I'm gonna start chopping them up into granola bars, and then we get to try them. So I just kind of cut it lengthways first, and then I just kind of start making bars. Good size bar. Looks like this. Oh yes, look at that. It's still pretty soft, but they do harden up, so I'm just gonna leave it now on the counter. I'll chop them up, kind of let them spread out a little bit. But you guys, I'm just gonna eat this one because it's calling my name.
What are you eating?
Oh, the troops are calling. Do you want to try some granola bars?
Oh yeah.
Oops. So bad. What do you think?
That's good.
It is so good. I love that the coconut oil is in there. So good. So I'm gonna put those on a plate. So I have some here that are just gonna go into the refrigerator. I'm gonna cover them up. They'll be a great snack for later. And then I'm delivering some too. So You guys, these turned out so good. I'm gonna put the recipe again in the description box. And so let me know if you end up making these and what you think. They're one of our faves. So thanks so much for stopping by the channel. Give the video a thumbs up, and I hope you liked it today with what we did. Hope you got some cleaning motivation, some good ideas for an easy and quick dinner or lunch, and yummy granola bars. Stick around, rollers. You just never know what I'll be rolling out next. Bye, everyone.